again, my Retromatic fans. This is the Retromatic Gamer one more time. I've just broken 69 subscribers. Doesn't sound like a lot, but dude, 69. That's cool. No, I shouldn't have anybody, so I'm cool. I'm great with that, happy with it. I've got over 10,000 views now. That doesn't seem like a hell of a lot, but you gotta keep in mind, in our little niche of gameplay videos, if you ain't PewDiePie or the Angry Nintendo Nerd, then you should be thankful as hell you've got anybody watching you at all. So I really tip my hat to those of you who are actually, like, you know, enjoying my videos and stuff like that. I'm not the same irritating sense of humor that others offer. Well, not AVGN's not irritating. I love his videos, don't get me wrong. But anyhow, I'm taking a look at Joust today. It's one of my favorite arcade games, matter of fact. Oh, Jesus, I am so messed up here. I believe I also mentioned it was one of my top 10 Atari 2600 games, although I don't remember what place I awarded it. But now I'm actually playing the NES version, which is a little different than both the 2600 version and the arcade version. Slightly. I mean, whoa. The basics of gameplay are all the same. Smack the other guy, be above him, try to avoid the pterodactyl at all, because unless you bash him pixel perfect on the nose, he's gonna eat you anyway. Basic gameplay, push the button, flap the wings. It's a little trickier than it looks to control. It takes a while to get used to. It's kind of, with all the popularity of Flappy Bird going on, I guess you could say that this was kind of a prerequisite to Flappy Bird. Yeah. Alright, so yeah, that game's over. That one sucked totally. I wasn't paying much attention either, but so we know I love Joust, so I'm obviously going to give the game a positive review. And the NES game, even for a short little 80s style arcade game, I absolutely love it. I can't really say I play it enough. I like it better than Pac-Man and Space Invaders, and almost better than Missile Command. Actually, I think I do like it better than Missile Command, but don't tell my dad I said that, okay? But the only thing I could really do is compare and contrast the different versions of it, because I had the 2600 version when I was a kid, so I didn't bother to get the Nintendo version back then. Obviously, I'm playing it now, so that means I'm giving it a fair shake, as it is. But I figured once I had the game on one platform, I mean, how much different could it be? And now I can kind of stand by that, actually. Having experience with the NES version, it just seems like the controls aren't quite as tight and responsive. Which, I don't know what's with that. It's harder to come to a dead stop. Which is hard to say when you're messing with a 2600 joystick, you know. You think that makes everything difficult, but truth is, once you're used to it, and you have a good quality stick, of course, or a Sega Genesis controller, if you really... Frel. There we go. No, it's just the physics seem a little bit more predictable, more like physics should be, and smoother and tighter and simpler. Oh, Jesus, really? What a cheap shot. So that would have been impossible in the 26. I mean, graphically, obviously, the NES is superior to the 2600. I mean, there's just more detail. So it's prettier to look at, don't get me wrong. Absolutely gorgeous. But I don't know, it just seems like the controls make the game more difficult here on the NES for little to no reason. And there's even more precision timing in how you have to hit. Based on their flight patterns, it's more difficult to predict how to hit the enemies. But and I'll also be straight with you. I have a lot less experience with the arcade version than I do with either console version. Let me go, you stupid shit! That's at least accurate. That's something that was in the arcade version that was missing in the 2600. So I mean, it is simply dead true that the NES version is also technically more arcade perfect. Ow! Yeah, that's right, bitch. Ah, shit! Ugh, missed, see? Alright, well, anyway. Yeah, the arcade version, um, for the little experience I've had with the arcade version, yeah, the NES looks more like it and does have more of its features. I just feel like the Atari version plays better. And it's difficult to explain why. Maybe it's just because I'm more used to the way it handles versus the way this one does. But playing the arcade version, I feel like the 2600 is more true to the physics of the arcade experience. So, I don't know. I am still going to say I like the NES version here. I mean, because it's Joust. There isn't much you can do wrong with as simple a game like Joust or any of those other old school classic arcade games for that matter. Well, I shouldn't say you can't go wrong with Pac-Man. After all, Pac-Man was what led to the video game crash of 1983. The really crappy Atari 2600 port, then being followed up by the parental disappointment that was E.T. But, yeah, simple as it was, they got that one wrong the first try. Oh, shit. I'm getting hammered here. I'm just better at the 2600 version too. I can get a lot further in that game, but again, I don't know what to blame for that. I just killed him with my butt. Oh, you're gone. Nope, no. There we go. Uh-oh. Pterodactyl. No touchy. No touchy. Go away. Pterodactyl's also easier to deal with than the 26. It just flies in a straight line. And I remember the arcade game being a little bit more difficult to handle than that. So, I mean, theoretically, I guess I could give the NES points for arcade accuracy. Even if it seems harder to control. Get off my dick, bitch! He's trying to fist me. Oh yeah. Give me that egg. And that pterodactyl shows up when you spend too much time on a level. God, he's really got it out for me. Get off, man. I'm trying to finish this. Ah! God. Anyway, that's Joust for the NES. I still recommend picking it up. It is one of the reasons to own an NES anyways, even if I think it's better on the 2600, despite appearances. You know what? All this talk, let me at least load it up and explain. Here we are, back to the 2600 version. Obviously, it looks like slop, and it's going to sound like slop too by comparison. Yeah, whole lot faster. Whoa, hello. I'm a whole lot faster anyways. Now I gotta get used to the changeover. Holy crap. I feel, yeah, it's definitely, I'm more responsive. I'm a whole lot faster. So, poing. There we go. Now I gotta get unused to the NES version again, though. Yeah, and I stop on a dime, too. It just seems more playable here. More, I don't want to say predictable, because the idea is the ostrich is definitely doing what I want him to do. Not just what happens to be what I got him to do, but he's definitely where I want him to be, and I have myself to blame for any accidents here. But that's the only thing this version has going for. Obviously, the graphics are not at all up to the arcade standard, nor are the sound effects, but then, I mean, there isn't much to listen to in Joust anyway. And it does, as a 2600 game, it has to take some concessions in arcade accuracy, but the playability in Joust on the 2600 is awesome. It is, as I've said before in other videos, this is one of the best games on the 2600. Maybe not the most powerful to feature all of the awesome things that the 2600 could and really can't do, but it is one of the most fun reasons to own a 2600 or collect for it or anything of that matter. If you have a 2600 and you don't have a copy of Joust yet, there is a gaping, glaring hole in your playable collection. So let me just... There we go. Oh, I've still got 2 lives left. I told you I was a little bit better at this. Although I think it gives you more lives anyway, I'm not sure. Ah! Die, stupid! See, you are so quick. Oh, stupid! Don't! Alright, anyways, my point is made. My comparison stands. The NES game looks better, but I still prefer playing the Atari 2600 version. Yeah, but then they're both probably shit compared to the arcade. So thanks for watching, folks, and seriously, thank you for all the views and the subscribers. I don't deserve any of them, but I can't lie. I gotta be humble about it. You guys are awesome. Thank you.